Welcome, adventurers. I just finished playing Godbreakers, a upcoming roguelike that promises fast, fluid, and fun combat with precise strikes, dashes, and abilities. And I gotta say, it delivers. You'll follow the typical roguelike formula of clearing one room after another and getting stronger as you build up your Godbreaker through collecting essences, equipment, and fragments, all in the hopes of defeating Godbreaker's memorable bosses that you encounter as you explore the six diverse biomes whose layouts are always changing. Every run will feel different as you unlock different archetype classes, which each come with their own unique weapons and traits, and you'll even be rewarded with some fashion for your adventures. Godbreaker begins with a mysterious entity called a coven, bringing you back to life to set things right and to be its final weapon. Man created AI to improve the world, but it erased humankind in its strive for perfection, and now it devours planets, and the sun is next. You're tasked with defeating the artificial intelligence known as the Monad and its warp creations. In the demo, you can begin in the hub area where you'll be able to launch your first run. Your starting archetype is the Lancer, which is the most balanced of the six classes in the game. The Lancer's weapon ability unleashes a series of slashes that travel, damaging and piercing all targets. The Lancer's weapon trait allows it to generate 20% more source light with each successful hit. Think of source light like mana. Once full, you'll be able to godbreak enemies and absorb their powers when their health is low enough. Godbreaking is one of the key gameplay mechanics that make Godbreaker awesome. Think of Kirby's iconic power wrapped into a warframe. You can even absorb boss powers, which I thought was awesome. The absorb abilities are a one-time use, but were still one of my favorite things to do because they did a lot of damage, and it was always exciting to see the new abilities I would encounter. Each new room always felt like a buffet of abilities at my disposal. Now, which one of you would I absorb next? Again, the gameplay loop follows the typical formula of roguelikes. You'll battle through smaller enemies, clearing one room after another until you encounter a mini boss or a biome's final boss. Each room cleared may reward you with some essences, fragments, or equipment. Essences are the stackable items that improve stats like increasing max health or increasing your running speed. Essences can also give your attacks a chance to trigger actions like applying fire or poison to your attacks, etc. Fragments, on the other hand, are color coded and take the corresponding slot in your inventory. Fragments are actually very diverse and can influence many different things, like guaranteeing the next hit being a critical hit, to things like your dashes now leaving a trail that deals damage to enemies, etc. I like to look at them as they influence the direction of your build. Fragments can be upgraded at the merchant, which can be found on your run. Now, when it comes to equipment, you can only have one equipped at a time and works more like an ability and must be manually activated. I think the terminology equipment is a little confusing as it works more like an ability that gives you a boon. Now, let's talk about the boss battles. While we only had access to one main boss fight, I'll say it looks very promising because the boss battle checked all my boxes for what makes a boss fight memorable. It was fair, had great boss fight mechanics with evolving attack patterns, and lastly, the fun factor. It was just so darn good. Unfortunately, I played this solo, but I could just imagine the chaos of the battlefield with up to 3 other friends. What also adds another layer of difficulty is the fact that you only have 3 health potions at the start of the run, and as far as I can tell, there is no way to get them back before the big boss fight. Additionally, it looks like we may have a way of making the runs harder. In the hub area, right before launching your run, you have something called tangles, which looks like a way of modifying your run and maybe earning some cool rewards. In Godbreaker, you also have challenges that you can complete that will reward you with some cool cosmetics that configure things from your helmet, your weapon, and your overall look. Additionally, you can also unlock new archetypes and even new weapon abilities for your existing archetypes. We also have something called echoes that we could not access in the demo. Unsure exactly how it would work, but I'm thinking this might be permanent upgrades. While it looks like there are only 6 different archetype classes, you'll only have access to 2 of them in the demo. All archetype classes each come with their own unique stats and weapon. Every weapon comes with its own weapon trait and weapon ability. Weapon abilities can be swapped once you've completed certain in-game challenges, but I didn't see any signs that you can change a weapon trait. The second class you unlock is the Pillar Archetype, which while slower than the Lancer, surprisingly did not feel as restrained as the other tanky classes in other games, which I appreciated. From the two, I prefer the Pillar Archetype. Pillar's weapon ability casts a barrier around them, which extends in duration for each enemy hit. The archetypes were different enough that it changed the way I was playing. The remaining archetypes are the Twin Blade, which appears to be your roguelike class, the Duelist, which yields a blaster of swords and a blade, the Reaper, who appears to be a range and defense class, and lastly, the Striker, who doesn't need guns because he has fists and appears to be your close combat class. What do you guys think of the archetypes? Alright, adventurers, Godbreaker currently has a broad release date of 2025. You can check out the demo on Steam. We'd love to know your thoughts on the game. Angers and I have already wishlisted the game. The devs have a lot going on. They really ace the combat and Godbreakers, and they have a fair amount of archetypes to choose from, and it appears that I've only scratched the surface when it comes to builds. As long as they keep the good boss fights, and hopefully the biomes all feel different enough, I think we're going to be eating good with this game. Lastly, while it's not a deal breaker, I do hope they have more cosmetic options than what we saw in the demo. If I'm going to do badass things, I want to look badass doing it too. Alright guys, don't forget to like the video or subscribe if you think I earned it. And adventurers, keep your head up. Whatever quest you're on in life, adventure forward, and I'll see you guys on the next one.